more interesting. It is both old and new, and in its wealth of historic scenes and architecture, and yet it is as modern as the 20th century itself. This new Quebec is expressed not only in city shops and skyscrapers, but by the countless modern resort hotels, which offer both summer and winter accommodation in the playground areas. While most vacationists naturally prefer to enjoy the summer pleasures of this great holiday land, many of the smooth resort highways are kept open all winter by the Provincial Department of Highways for the benefit of those who enjoy the winter sports. Similarly, most of the same hotels which offer excellent summer accommodation remain open for 12 months of the year. They are friendly and comfortable, and they provide easy access to good ski slopes, most of which are equipped with ski tows. The region in the Laurentian Mountains north of Montreal is perhaps the most highly concentrated skiing area in North America. The rolling countryside is typically Scandinavian in character. It offers magnificent cross-country touring, and its downhill trails and slalom courses provide real thrills for the skier. Even European experts admit there is no snow like Quebec snow. Climatic conditions are such that the snow remains dry and crisp throughout almost the entire winter season. There are steep descents and jumps for the experienced skier. There are gentle slopes for the novice who learns under the guidance of qualified instructors. And if you enjoy variety in your holiday entertainment, there are sleighing trips along mountain trails, or you can mush behind a team of huskies. And after a morning of activity in the great outdoors, you can also relax to enjoy your noonday meal on the sunny terrace of your own hotel. And these are only a few examples of the pleasures offered by Quebec's winter wonderland. But when the snow melts in the valleys and the brooks run free, then we discover another Quebec, the lovely and different Quebec of spring, an angler's paradise where scores of fishing clubs attract members from all parts of the continent. Every year, Quebec extends a hearty welcome to thousands of American visitors. At any one of the many border crossing points, Canadian customs officials do their duty quickly and courteously. Several of the principal ports of entry lead directly into that large area of the province which lies south of the St. Lawrence and which is known as the Eastern Townships. Here, smooth, scenic highways lead through the verdant green countryside to Sherbrooke, Queen City of the Eastern Townships. Sherbrooke is a beautiful and prosperous city. It is the home of more than 50 diversified industries. Tourists are impressed by its fine churches, its modern up-to-date hospitals, by the excellent playgrounds provided for the children, and by its attractive, well-kept homes, which are among the finest in the province. And if you've an eye for scenic beauty, you could hardly fail to enjoy the lovely rural vistas of Quebec. Naturally, every tourist will be tempted to stop for a while in Montreal, Canada's largest city and second only to Paris as the largest French-speaking city in the world. In the heart of Montreal lies Dominion Square, a focal point for both visitors and residents. The square itself is surrounded by luxurious hotels and office buildings. while only a block away is St. Catherine Street, one of the longest and busiest shopping streets in the world. Along stately Sherbrooke Street, you will see fine apartment buildings, modern hotels, and exclusive stores, all catering to the most discriminating tastes. Sherbrooke Street is often referred to as the Fifth Avenue of Canada. Just a step from the whirling traffic of Sherbrooke Street, you enter an atmosphere of quiet beauty and calm dignity, which provides the setting for McGill University. Founded more than a century and a half ago by a Scottish fur trader, Old McGill has given Canada some of her greatest figures in public and professional life. In a province famous for its wealth of shrines and cathedrals, Montreal naturally has its share. One of the most impressive is St. Joseph's Oratory on the lower slopes of Mount Royal, erected through the tireless efforts of the famous Brother Andre. Two others, which should not be missed in any tour of the city, are the ancient Notre Dame Church in the very heart of the lower city, and the equally famous St. James Cathedral, cornering on Dominion Square, which is modeled after St. Peter's in Rome. Montreal is internationally known for its many fine restaurants, where you will find food that would delight even the most exacting epicures, at prices which are easily within the reach of every tourist. But wherever you go, you'll discover historic relics and landmarks. One such place of interest is the Chateau de Ramsay, originally the governor's residence, and now a museum. And then you're back into the world of today as you look upon the ultra-modern University of Montreal, the largest center of French culture on the continent. Back in the heart of the city, here is Bon Secours Market. Trucks and carts are piled high with rich produce from the fertile soil of the Quebec countryside. Hardy farmers mingle here with their French and English-speaking customers of the city. Leaving Montreal, we travel north to the extensive summer playgrounds of the Laurentian Mountains. Throughout this holiday land, you'll find facilities for almost any type of recreation you may desire. If you favor aquatic sports, the refreshing, crystal clear waters of innumerable lakes are ideal for swimming, sailing, or boating of any kind. The exotic beauty of the Laurentian countryside becomes more thrilling than ever when you see it from the cabin of a sightseeing plane. Air taxi service is also available to whisk you quickly to and from nearby but secluded fishing spots where you can match your skill against the wily speckled trout, the fighting black bass, or the sporty northern pike. Rustic bridle paths winding along the mountainside and through shady woodland trails offer the rider an outing of sheer enjoyment that he will long remember. Golfers, too, will find a thrill in the fast greens and tricky fairways of the excellently kept golf courses for which the Laurentians are noted. Equally fast tennis courts provide an enjoyable spectator sport for those who prefer to just loaf in the warm comfort of a summer sun. But now let's return to our vagabond tour. Driving eastward from Montreal, through this land rich in agriculture, we become aware of a serene tempo of living, characteristic of the Quebec farmer, which provides an interesting contrast to his modern and progressive methods of enriching and conserving the soil. In the villages of Quebec, you will find a pattern of life which has preserved the people's language, their religion, and their customs. The church is the heart and center of community activities. The parish priest, the spiritual leader, and the family, the social unit. The villagers in many parts of Quebec have also taken pride in preserving their traditional skill in the handicrafts of their forefathers. The artistry of their rugs, the quality of their homespuns, and the unique character and beauty of their wood carvings are the pride and joy of collectors everywhere. Situated in the heart of an historic area of the province is the city of Trois-Rivières, which is the correct name for what many call Three Rivers. It was so named for the triple outlet of the St. Maurice River as it flows into the St. Lawrence. Founded more than 3 centuries ago by the French explorer La Violette, it was once a famous fur trading post for the Huron and Algonquin Indians. Today, it is famed as the home of some of the largest paper mills in the world, a harbor for ocean-going merchant vessels, and an all-round prosperous industrial city. In the environment of this busy industry, we find one of the most noted religious shrines on the continent, the shrine of Our Lady of the Cape, only a few minutes' drive from the city and focal point of a great annual pilgrimage of the devout. Leaving Trois-Rivières, we travel eastward through rolling countryside, which leads to the venerable city of Quebec, capital of the province, and truly the cradle of Canadian history. Here, one of the world's most picturesque hotels, the Chateau Frontenac, covers the site of the ancient castle of the 17th century Chateau Saint-Louis, which was the residence of early governors of Lower Canada. The quaint cobblestone streets and the graceful Norman architecture of the buildings combine to give an old world charm and dignity that's characteristic of the city of Quebec. As you come to the historic Saint-Louis Gate, you pause to reflect that it was here that General Montcalm, in a gallant display of personal leadership, rallied his men in defense of the city, receiving his 2 mortal wounds. You feel as if the pages of a 300-year-old history were being turned before your very eyes. A proud, romantic history of the only walled city in America, a city which staunchly resisted enemy attack through 5 devastating sieges. It is upon this solid foundation that the city of Quebec is built. Spencerwood, the home of the Lieutenant Governor of the province, occupies a setting of park-like beauty. While in these dignified buildings, the provincial government meets. Here we have the Basilica and the Cardinal's Palace. While nearby stands the Protestant Cathedral, the two invisibly united in a common purpose. Laval University is a living testimonial to the French culture which was brought to this country hand in hand with the prayer book and the sword. It was founded in the 17th century by Francois de Montmorency-Laval, first Bishop of Quebec. Originally a seminary, today it ranks with the great universities of the world for its academic and scientific standings. As this beautiful national park comes into view, Canada's history again unfolds a story of brave men and great deeds. For this is the famous Plains of Abraham, taking its name from the original owner, a river pilot called Abraham Martin. It was here that Wolfe and Montcalm, commanding generals of the opposing armies, both lost their lives in the epic battle of the Plains of Abraham. The citadel, ancient heart of the mighty fortress of Quebec, still stands proud and high on the rocky promontory of Cape Diamond. Below the towering walls of the Chateau Frontenac is Dufferin Terrace, which figured prominently in Canada's early history. Today, it provides an extensive promenade, commanding an inspiring view of the majestic St. Lawrence. A few minutes' drive from the city along the north shore are the Montmorency Falls, with cascading waters 100 feet higher than the mighty Niagara. Nearby in mid-St. Lawrence, we come to the L'Île d'Orléans. In 1535, the explorer Jacques Cartier named this the island of Bacchus on account of the numerous grapevines growing there. Though traces of early times are now vanishing before the tide of 20th century progress, the deep philosophy and faith of the folk on L'Île d'Orléans remains, written in their daily lives. For more than 300 years, this faith has been deep-rooted in the Quebec soil they love so much. Many of them, even today, live on the very same piece of land cleared by ancestors who came to Canada with Champlain, founder of Quebec. Just visible in the background across the river is Sainte-Anne-de-Beaupré, one of the world's most famous shrines. While still incomplete, it contains the murals and handicrafts of many of the 17th century ecclesiastics. No trip would be complete without a glimpse of Laurentian Park. A short distance north of Quebec City, it can bear. For those who like their vacation on the social side, there is Murray Bay and the exclusive Manoir Richelieu, operated by one of Canada's best-known steamship lines. At the Manoir, you may enjoy luxurious comfort and all the pleasant diversions associated with a sojourn in this lovely summer resort. If you like your swimming just so, there is an outdoor swimming pool, heated to the correct temperature. This pool contains natural salt water drawn from the St. Lawrence, whose ocean tides extend upstream even beyond the city of Quebec. And here again, the golfer can enjoy his favorite pastime in an atmosphere of unrivaled beauty, on a golf course which enthusiasts claim to be one of the finest on the continent. This district also invites you for a delightful drive along the Saguenay River, where you can pause and enjoy a picnic in a setting of magnificent scenery. From nearby Saint-Signon, let's ferry our car across to Rivière-du-Loup on the south shore of the St. Lawrence. This attractive section of Quebec's vacation land offers you a variety of interesting activities, ranging from a bathe in the splendid facilities of the South Shore beaches, or golf on a number of excellent courses, to practically any form of divertisement associated with a pleasant holiday. As we travel eastward through the rugged beauty of the Gaspé Peninsula, our nostrils are assailed by an appetizing aroma we can't quite identify until we catch a glimpse of an outdoor bake oven. Here, Madame is turning out loaves of rare and succulent flavor. Coming to Gaspé Bay, which is one of the finest deep-water refuges on the eastern seaboard, we learn that more than 4 centuries ago, Jacques Cartier took possession of the land in the name of the King of France. And we see the stone cross erected to commemorate that event in Canada's history. The chief industry of the Gaspé coast is fishing. Herring and mackerel are abundant in these waters, but it is the cod which constitutes the most profitable catch. The fisher folk of Gaspé Bay are descendants of the hardy pioneers from Normandy and Brittany, who came to this land over 300 years ago to carve out a new home. Nearby is the beautiful resort town of Percé, whose outstanding landmark is the famous pierced rock from which the settlement gets its name. The unusual beauty of the Gaspé coast in the vicinity of Percé has long been an inspiration for artists who have been attracted there from all over the world. And so we end our vacation in Quebec, carrying homeward the memory of a holiday tour unlike any other we have ever known, and of a people rich in olden culture and traditions, but progressive in outlook, with eyes fixed on the future, a sturdy and a friendly folk.